remain ananya to him. What comes and goes in this world, don't worry for that. Just leave it. So this is ananyata. So Naradji explained that verse, tasmin ananyata. Now he explained that by saying anya shrayanam tyago ananyata. He explained the exact definition of ananyata. The second half, tad virodhi shudasinata cha, that you have to be udasin to other things. You're ananya to Krishna, but you're udas to everything else. Now he explains it again, gives a further definition. What does that mean? Loke vedeshu tadanukula charanam tad virodhi shudasinata. That loke vedeshu tadanukula charanam. This is udasinata. So we have laukik karma, vaidik karma. Naradji says here, do that laukik karma, do that vaidik karma which is anukul to your bhakti, and leave the rest. A very simple, straightforward definition. Anukul means supporting, favorable to. So it means bhakti comes first. That's the main goal of your life. That's your top priority. Now, whatever laukik karma you need to do to support that, meaning, like I said, you have to eat food, you have to work, you have to maintain harmony in your relationships and family. So, for that reason, like I'm saying, we don't have to feel obligated to that, oh, I have to go to this party, I have to please this person. But at the same time, we might do a certain amount of, it's not that a person living in the world has to be totally cut off from everyone, that, oh, I never go out anymore, I never see anybody. That's your choice. You don't have to be. No one's saying you have to become a hermit. You can maintain social connections. It's good for seva also. But the main idea should be that this is anukul to my bhakti. Someone may choose to do vaidik karma. Like I explained, someone might do shrad. Not because that's actually going to do something more that they need that they're not getting from bhakti, but just to maintain harmony in the family. So that's bhakti ke anukul. They can do that. But not the other way around. You don't make your bhakti be anukul to the world or to the Vedas. Meaning, you don't look at the rules of laukik karma and the rules of Vedic karma and make your bhakti conform to that. You look at how can I do bhakti and you make Vedic karma and laukik karma conform to that. Tad anukula charanam. Anukul acharan. Acharan means behavior, actions. It should be anukul to your bhakti. So Naradji is giving us a very beautiful working definition for how to live in the world. It's perfect. If we understand this and just keep that much in mind, living in the world becomes very easy. We're ananya to Krishna. We know He's taking care of everything. Whatever good and bad may come, we know it's His grace. And then we do whatever laukik and Vedic karma we have to that's anukul to our bhakti. But the bhakti comes first. And that laukik and Vedic karma which is not anukul to our bhakti, for that, nyas, tyag, that we leave. If it's not anukul to our bhakti, then we leave it. A saint says, Sandhya vandana bhadramastu bhavate bhosnan tubhyam namah Bho deva pitarascha tarpan vidhau naham kshamah kshamyatam yatra kvapi nishadya yadavakulot tan sasya kansadvishah smaram smaramagham harami tadalam Manye ki manye name. O devatas, celestial gods, O ancestors, Pitridev, please forgive me. Chamyatam, please forgive me, but I don't have time for you anymore. I don't have time for doing yajna. I don't have time for doing sandhya. He's a Brahmin, saint who's speaking. I don't have time for sandhya. I don't have time for snan. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for all these religious formalities. Why? Because I'm just doing smaran of Krishna all the time. That's why. If you're doing smaran, you've already done all of that. What is sandhya? Sri Maharaj explains when you're doing sandhya, the prayer that a Brahmin does in the morning and evening, so he has to say a verse from Padma Puran, apavitra pavitro ityadi, that says that by remembering Krishna, by doing smaran of Krishna, you purify your outside of your physical body and you purify your inside, your heart, just by doing smaran of Krishna. So, if you're doing smaran, you've done sandhya. If you're doing smaran of Krishna, if you're doing this raganuga bhakti that Naradji is describing, you've already done tarpan to the Pitri Dev, to your ancestors. You've done everything if you've done bhakti to Radha and Krishna. Think of it this way. If you have a big, huge tree with hundreds of thousands of leaves on it, you can just pour water on the root of that tree and the whole tree gets nourished by the water. The roots, trunk, branches, smaller branches, twigs, leaves, flowers, fruit, everything. But if you don't put water on the root and try to sprinkle water individually on everything, you won't be able to do it. The tree will shrivel up and die. So if you water the root, you've already watered everything else. So Bhagavatam says, Yatha taroranishe chanena tripyanti tatskandha bhujopashakha. If you worship Krishna, you've already worshipped everybody. Divine forms of God, celestial gods, ancestors, everybody. That's why I'm saying if you're doing this Raganuga Bhakti, you've already done Shraddh. You don't have to do, but you might do it just as a social convention. So this saint is saying, I don't have time for any of this because I'm just doing Raganuga Bhakti. So if it's not anukul to my bhakti, I'm not going to follow those rules. But those rules are written in the Vedas, and Krishna has said in the Smritis, Shruti Smriti Mamaivagye Yasto Ullanghya Vartate Badul Smriti. God is saying the laws written in the Smritis and Vedas, that's my Agya. The one who doesn't follow that is like my enemy. So it's written in the Vedas that you have to do sandhya, you have to do tarpan, you have to fast on Ekadashi, you have to do snan in a certain way in the morning and do this kind of ritual worshipping. All of that's written in the Vedas. This is Krishna's Vani, it's his Agya. And this saint is saying, oh, sorry, I don't have time for any of that, I'm just doing smaran of Krishna. So just like in the world we have laws, and we have subsections of those laws. Like murder is forbidden. But the subsection is if someone's attacking you and it happens in self-defense, then it's not a crime. So there are subsections to every law and subsections of the subsections, so all the details are covered. So like this in the Vedas, there are different laws for different people and different times. Nobody is meant to follow all the laws of the Vedas all at once. I can give you an example. The Ved describes, okay, if you're brahmachari,